Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series on disaster recovery and build back better. This lecture will talk about cultural theory of risk or cultural perspective of risk. I am Shubhojyoti Samadar from DPRI, Kyoto University. So we already discussed in other lectures about the role of culture in risk perceptions. Here in this lecture, we will focus more what the cultural theory is talking about people's risk perceptions and how this is connected with their cultural affiliation. Okay, so that was the book Purity and Danger by Mary Douglas in 1966, considered to be a modern classic of anthropology, talking about the moral risk, pollution and danger. Okay, and she was talking about taxonomic anomalies, dietary restrictions in case of Jews, Israeli people who cannot have pork or snake as a food, okay, because they are considered to be unclean. Like, why they are unclean? Because they are anomalies. So taxonomic anomalies, like snake, they live on land but they don't have legs, so it's very rare. So that's why you should not eat snake. Similarly, you should not eat pork because they have cloven hooves but they don't chew the cud. So unlike horse and cow. So these are clean who are anomalies, so you should not eat them. Similarly, the other examples, like in case of Hima tribe in Uganda, they depend on animal husbandry, they depend on livestock, okay, but the female, it is considered that female, they should not touch these livestock. The very tribe whose livelihood depends on animal husbandry, depending on livestock rearing, they should not touch, their women should not touch livestock. They believe that if the woman, they touch a livestock, the livestock will die. So similarly, in case of the 14th century Europe, there was poor water quality was already an issue for a very long time, but it came into a kind of more outcry of the people. It is considered to be as one of the critical concern, and the blame of this was given to the Jewish people because they were told that Jewish people are actually contaminating the water. So they started to evict Jewish people in Europe. So according to the cultural theory of risk, the allocation of responsibility of hazard event is normal strategy for protecting a particular set of values. One culture, they define that this is right and this is not good, this is bad, this is good, this is acceptable, this is unacceptable, this is pure, this is polluted. Okay, so each culture have their own values, and through these values, through this lens, they see what is risky, what is not risky, what is pure, what is unpure. Okay, and they disseminate these informations among their members. Now, Mary Douglas was saying that we need to have a kind of categories of cultures. We have many cultures, but we can group them, categorize them. She was telling that we can do it through the grid and group pattern. We can categorize the culture in order to analyze them better. Why it is so? Why we need to have grid group kind of system, which will come later, but why we need categories of culture based on grid and group? She published a book in 1978 and claiming that the traditional anthropological studies on culture, they are lacking any category of culture. Therefore, if you are studying some culture in Africa, you cannot compare that when you are studying a culture in Asia. So anthropologists are trained in such a way that they do not generalize their findings. So they are very localized, contextualize their findings. So in order to reach to some kind of generalizations, we should try to make categorizations of culture. Okay, and so she said that we can do it through the model called grid and group to categorize the culture, to understand people's mind. Now, she is saying that we can do this by taking two elements. One is whom one interact and how one interact with. So whom one interact is considered to be group, and how they interact is considered to be grid. Okay, so group generally represent the degree of social incorporation of the individual in a social. How often I am meeting someone, how dense is the network between the members of that group. If I am living in a neighborhood, how I am interacting with each of them. Am I meeting them very frequently or very rarely? Do I know everyone or do I know some of them? So how these people are interacting with each other, what extent, it depends on a group. Okay, so some groups are very flexible, very low, they have very less network, less density, they seldom met, and some are very high. Okay, so low and weak group, like open-ended interactions, very infrequent, limited with specific purpose, the reason of people interacting. In some neighborhood, people interact very rarely with each other, right? Or maybe they're very competitive, like the colleagues or co-workers. Okay, they do not working in a hospital or working in a school or working in a company. They are very competitive, but they have very less interactions, face-to-face interactions. On the other hand, we have high one, which are people are meeting with each other, like in the village. Okay, everybody knows everyone, very strong interactions, and people depend on each other's services. They have high dependency, and they have share common, very strong solidarity. Okay, like you can see in the villages compared to urban areas. So this is one side, we have a low group, and one on the side we have high group, two extreme group polarizing. Also we have the grid. Okay, the grid represents that what kind of rules and regulations I should maintain or I should follow when I am a member of a particular group. Okay, that what are the constraints, like if I am a particular member of a particular group, will they allow me to have an orientation of homosexual, or will they allow me to have equal rights for the woman? So feminism or kind of homosexuality, how one group see, that is a kind of the rule of the group. Some group permit, some group do not permit. Okay, so it is a kind of law, hierarchy, kinship, race, gender, that how it is viewed. This is in a group, this is called grid. Okay, so we have like low grid, where everybody is equal, egalitarian state of affairs. No one is prevented to participate in any kind of activities or social role, depending, irrespective of their race, gender, age, or so forth. Everybody is considered to be equal. In other case, very extreme, we have high grid pattern. Here, here we can see that people are restricted, their activities are restricted based on caste, creed, class. So access to social activities depends on one or another of these kind of discriminations. People are discriminated in this kind of situations. Okay, so group when low, the networks are radical. When high, it is interconnected. In case of interactions, low groups are rare, high groups are frequent. Boundaries of interactions among individuals, in case of low group is open, and in case of high group is closed. Shared groups like few, high groups are many. In case of greed, when the greed is low, that means in a particular group, particular community, particular society, the low and high is like horizontal and vertical. One is very hierarchical, one is very equal. Okay, specializations. In low group, it's very little. People all have similar kind of activities. They don't have any specializations. In high group, there is a lot of specializations, a lot of division of labor. People are divided, segregated. And allocation of roles is like achievement, what you are, what you have achieved. But in case of high, it is like ascribed. What your father was, what your mother was, what our ancestor was, you become, like caste system. Okay, and resource allocations. In case of low grade, it is like egalitarian. Everybody is equal. Everybody has the same opportunity. But in case of hierarchical, the high, it is hierarchical. Some elite people have better access. The other people, those who don't have, they have little access or little power to exercise. So if we put this low group and group and grid into a cross tabulations, we can get 4 categories: 1, A, B, C, D. So if we move from A to D to C, we can say that from A to D, A is like individualistic, and D is kind of egalitarian, and C is like authoritative. Some dictators are there. And in case of A, it is like little classification and distinctions between individuals are there. Nobody is segregated or discriminated because they're black, because they're woman. Okay, and in case of C, which is very hierarchical. Okay, every movement of their social, cultural, personal movements are restricted and ordered. So we can have this scenario. You can see through this picture that one in individualistic, one is egalitarian, hierarchical, and authoritarian. Let's look at hierarchical way of looking. It's like clearly defined role. There is a strong hierarchy, somebody on the top and somebody are bottom. Okay, they're very rigid, clearly defined role. You can only do that, like caste system, for example. And feel loyalty. You have to say, hello, I am loyal to you, I will follow your order, okay, to your king. So there is a king, there is a subject. And inequalities are prevailing there. So inequalities are fair and deserved. Inequalities are there because people have different capacities. So that's why inequalities are justified. Okay. In case of individualistic society or culture, it's very different according to, it's like free. Whoever can join whatever choice they have, they can pursue whatever like, they have enough freedom. And people have no mutual support because it's very individualistic society. You are what you can do, but I am not going to help you anyway. And interact with anyone you like. Okay, so you are free. You can do anything you want. You can interact with anyone you want. You can be a homosexual. You can be a feminist. You can be a radical. That's up to you, unless and until you are harming anyone. So you are open. You are open to achieve anything you want. In case of egalitarian, it is like everybody is equal without, there is no leader. There is no variation based on status and prestige. No one is, okay. And there are a lot of solidarities. People help each other between members, okay. And, but there is a problem that they believe they have a very strong we feeling that this is we and this is they. So there is a difference between that we and them, okay. So us versus them mentality is there. like we can see in case of hunter-gathering bands or some tribes or communes. And another one is the authoritarian or fatalist. Here is that there is a ruler. Life is constrained by rule imposed by other, like defeated soldiers. They have to follow the order of the king. And there is no trust or cooperation. This is just dominating. One person is dominating others. Okay, so who are left to fend themselves, and like the slave, as I said, or the prisoners. Okay, so each people of these groups, these four groups, based on the greed and group of these cultural groups or cultural categories, they look every aspect of our social life in different manner, different values, different lenses, different perceptions and opinions they have. So it is not the individual biological characteristics that define their values, but which culture they belong, that matter. For somebody is eating with chopstick, it's okay. For somebody, it's a cultural shock because it's eating by pork or knife. Or for someone, it is like no alcohol. You should not drink alcohol, for Muslims, example. Or a foreign white-skinned person is seen in a part of Sri Lanka or South India. People are so surprised to see this one. So because we have different perspective of human features. So Michel Thomson in 1978, and he was trying to say, using this cultural pattern, that it is not the cultural pattern that exists, and also this cultural pattern actually it defines that how people see the risk, okay, how people see the risk. And so this is the cultural pattern we discussed about. One is very hierarchical, then we have egalitarian, everybody is equal, and individualist and authoritarian, right? Now, each one see risk from different perspective. We will discuss this here, okay? For the individualist, they believe that nature is like, no matter how much human disturb it, they can handle it. Nature can handle it. It is super powerful. So for your own well-being, for your own achievement, for your own success, you can utilize the nature as much as you wish. And okay, this myth of nature shows that there is no need for control or cooperations. People are free to use the nature, so there is no risk exist. People can be left free to exploit nature, okay? Because this is a very competitive society, okay? Everybody is free and their status is based on ascribed status. In case of egalitarian, which is kind of, they see that actually it's very opposite of the individualistic, and they think that nature is very vulnerable. Any little mistake, nature will come crashing down, okay? Like a ball balanced on a hill. If you just touch it, it will fall. So we need a lot of control, okay? And cooperation is necessary to protect yourself from that kind of threat, okay? So we have to help each other to protect ourselves from the threat of hazards, or from the threat of risk. And then we have hierarchical, okay? They believe that nature can be exploited freely, but there is certain rules, particular way they define, there is a limit of it, okay? Because this limit is put because they have a very strict authority. So the authorities or the higher people, those who have, or the kings or the top people, they know how to do it. So they depends much. So expert can tell you what is right and what is wrong. The king can tell you okay, that what is right and what is wrong, and you have to follow that extent. So it is okay that you can exploit the nature, but you cannot cross certain point, cross certain boundaries. Okay, if you cross that one, you are putting the nature at risk. And on the other hand, we have fatalist. There is no way to foresee how nature will react to any stimulus. So they don't know what is the risk. Okay, it is protected or not. So there is no point in fighting over how to manage it. Instead, you should just try to roll with the punches. So you should go on. So they are the most vulnerable. So here we look at the attitude to risk. One is individualistic, the fear risk that would limit the market and constrains their ability to trade freely. Egalitarian, use the threat of catastrophic risk to generate solidarity. For example, global warming. Hierarchist, fear risk that would upset the ranking of people. Okay, for example, crime or social deviance. Fatalists don't see the point of fearing any risk. It's not like they can do anything about them. So we are talking about this, that how one see different way of looking at the risk from their cultural perspective. So it is not that risk is objective and is hazard dependent, but it is more that how people are culturally oriented, how their perception values are met, as we see in each cases, individuals, egalitarian, hierarchist, and fatalist. This idea was then a little further developed by Steve Renner. He was talking about polythetic concept of risk, and that in generally we consider risk is the probability of an adverse event and the magnitude of its consequence, right? Something will happen, an adverse event will happen, and it has some consequences. But he is arguing that risk is more than that. Risk actually a kind of perceptions. It varies from one person to another. There is no one meaning in risk. It's more polythetic. So he got this philosophical idea, okay, from Wittgenstein, and for Wittgenstein, he's asking that for you, what is the meaning of a game? Okay, for if you look at the game, you will not see something that is common to all game. For example, we have the game here, 3-4 games. One is the cricket and the soccer and the chess and solitaire. Okay, so in the first part, they all considered to be a game, but they have very less similarities with each other. For example, the cricket and soccer, both are 11 players play for each team. So they have some similarities, but from the point of rules, aims, and strategies, they are quite different. On the other hand, they are completely different from chess or solitaire, in other sense that chess and solitaire are quite similar because they both are played on board and they both are not competitive as such. Okay, so there is a series of links that which connect soccer, cricket, chess, and solitaire, but there is no single feature or that is enough or sufficient condition to call it as a game, right? In all this system of concept of formation, items one end of the chain that constitute a category need not to have any conditions in common with those at the other end. That means that they all are in a sense that they have some common commonalities, but like they all are goal oriented. Okay, but that is not only defining the characteristics of the game, game needs to be more characteristics. So they have some similarities, but they have also some differences. So one single feature of anything is maybe sometimes necessary, but not sufficient condition to define or to call it as game. Okay, so similarly, the public does not care much about the probabilities in choosing between two courses of action, he is arguing, when the difference in probability are as small as they are in most of the risk management decisions. So people don't care when the probability is let's say high probability and high magnitude. There is no confusion. People say, okay, I accept the risk. But in case of low probability, okay, like radiation exposure levels in medicine, or a permissible level of possible carcinogens in cancer, this kind of low probability event of risk is very unclear to the people. So what people will do, how they will consider it as an accepted or not accepted. So he is offering that for that we can have a kind of model which is called TLC, trust, liability, and consent. Okay, so polythetic definition of risk is that probability and magnitude, that is the traditional way of looking at risk, but that is not enough. We should add the TLC. Okay, this is the principle of trust, liability, and consent are themselves also the subject when we define that what is risk. Like in case of nuclear power plant, that if we want to tell people what should be done, we should consider this TLC concept. Okay, so that's how the problem of the need for the plant, why it is necessary to have a nuclear power plant. So that should be defined and agreed among the parties. And who passed for the plant, who will take the liability of it if something happened, who will be benefited out of it, and who will take the benefit of it. So these should be considered when we are defining the risk and the management of the technology. So trust is a very critical, important point when we are talking about this kind of risk management. So there are some informations are giving, and thank you very much.